How do you know if the choice that you make is the right one? I find myself often questioning, is this the right choice? Is this the right decision? And not even for the big decisions you have to make, but even those small ones. Whether it's deciding to make this video, or whether it's deciding to choose what I'm going to have for dinner. You start to overthink things because the idea that this one decision could then lead to something else, and then lead to something else, and then lead to something else, can be both inspiring but somewhat daunting. So how do you deal with that? How do you know what is the right decision? One of the notions that I refer back to whenever I fall into this headspace is the idea that there is no such thing as a right decision. Choice is the hesitation that you make before you make a decision. And so just pick a choice and lean into it with full confidence, and that will always be the right one. The full confidence part is really the important part. Sometimes you'll make a decision and then you wobble on it and you go back on it and then you come back again and then back and then back. The best way I can imagine it is I'm sitting in the exam and I'm going through a question and then I kind of stop it because it just doesn't make sense, and I can move on to something else and I come back to it again. And this constant back and forth tends to be how a lot of us play out throughout our lives with any of the decisions that we make, because fully committing to ourselves, fully committing to that decision is really the daunting part. And so I think when you lose this idea that there is no right decision, quite literally, because if you look at, I guess, your possibilities in life as being this point here and point here, and all these different actions you can take, they go up, down, up, down, up, down. As long as you are targeting yourself in the right direction, which just means as long as you're just doing what it is that you want to do when you want to do it, and you've got that direction, you've got that focus point, then over time the decisions that you make will just naturally converge to that point. And so I think what's really, I guess, the reminder you need to have is, I just need to commit to this. I just need to have confidence in this decision and somewhat trust that it's going to work out. In Steve Jobs' commencement speech at Stanford, he said something quite powerful, which was, it's easier to connect the dots looking back than it is looking forward. So sometimes you just have to have a lot of faith.
Again, you can't connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect them looking backwards. So you have to trust that the dots will somehow connect in your future. You have to trust in something, your gut, destiny, life, karma, whatever. Because believing that the dots will connect down the road will give you the confidence to follow your heart, even when it leads you off the well-worn path. And that will make all the difference.
What is faith? It's this trust that you've got to have that something's going to work out. Now, I like that concept, it's reassuring, but one of the things I've struggled with is I try to have everything in control, try to be somewhat concrete. And just telling me that you've got to trust, you've got to have faith, that seems like I've let go of my control. I think what faith really is to me, is knowing that you're pointed in that right direction. It's knowing that those decisions that you make don't really matter, because over time you're naturally going to converge to the direction that you're meant to be on. And when you have that understanding, that I'm pointed in the right direction, you're able to let go of this idea of, is this the right decision? Is this the right choice? And over-analyzing each individual thing. And you're able to just be, and you're able to take the next step after that, and so forth, without overthinking it. So anyway, it was fantastic speaking to you all today. I hope you found that insightful. I'll speak to you all very soon. Boy, I hope that was the right decision. Bye.